Hi, and welcome to the Jenspiration Conversation. My name is Jennifer, and if this is the first time that one of my videos has landed in your feed, it means that my favorite algorithm, which is the universe's algorithm, has put it in your path for a reason. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything has a reason or a lesson behind it. So when it comes to our social feeds, the universe has adapted quite well, and they start putting people, memes, videos in your path for a reason. So I welcome you here to this space. If you are a returning viewer, so much gratitude that you've decided to come back and continue to check out the video and the space. My intention behind creating this channel was to bring a collective of people together who are waking up to their authenticity, coming home to themselves, spiritually speaking, and maybe just need a space to do that. So here at the Jenspiration Conversation, we talk all things spiritual, but we keep it street. Street spirituality is the brand here, and if that sounds like you, then you've found the right space. So I always say, pause me if you want to, go make a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, and pull up a chair and welcome to my dining room. I'm filming this on a Sunday today, and if you hear, excuse me, if you hear a little bit of music in the background, I have an aura cleansing frequency on. Yesterday I had a house cleansing frequency on, and today I have an aura cleansing frequency on. I like to do my cleansing on the weekend after the week. So settle in and let's have a Jenspiration conversation, shall we? All right. Today's video is going to be about the spiritual reasons or reason that people completely disappear from your life. And when I say completely disappear, I mean gone from your life. You will never run into this person again. You will never cross paths with this person. They will never show up in the people you may know in your social media feed. You won't even inadvertently, oh, it's Spirit just saying hello over there. Something just kind of crackled. Sometimes Spirit comes in the video because they're like, hey, we're here too. Where was I? Yes, so you won't even inadvertently see them, even through the social feed. Like if you're looking at someone else's story, they're not going to pop up in that story. I mean, these people completely disappear from your life. And if you pause for a minute and think about, wait a minute, yeah, like I haven't seen that person in decades. There's a reason for it. There's a reason that people come into our life. There's a reason that they either stay for a lesson or a season or forever, but there's also a very good spiritual reason that once they come in, do what they're supposed to do, Spirit ushers them out, and then you are never going to see that person again. Never. Ever, ever, ever. It is a necessary step that your spirit team, the universe, source, whoever you believe in, takes for your soul's evolution. So if you subscribe to the belief that we all come here to Earth to learn, then I agree with you. If you also subscribe to we choose our parents, we choose our birthday, we choose who comes in and out of our life, and we choose the contracts that we are going to play out with different people, then yes, I agree with you as well. If you don't subscribe to that, maybe still hang out and hear the rest of the video, because maybe it just might open a part of your mind and go, well, maybe that could be true, right? I'm not here to push any beliefs on you. I'm just here to chat about my experiences and see if there's nuggets of information that you can relate to. So if you do subscribe to all of that, before you come here, you make contracts, agree to contracts with people. Literally every single person that comes into your life, you've made an agreement for that contract. So you might agree that someone comes in to teach you a valuable lesson about boundaries, or there's another person who comes in to show you how to love yourself, or there's a place where you meet someone and then that place becomes significant because you end up moving there, right? So every contract that you agree to has a very specific lesson to it, and then it either has a beginning, a middle, and an end, or it has a beginning, a middle, and no end if they end up staying in your life for the rest of your life. Complete side note, I also have a podcast, and it's called Jenspire'd The Podcast, and it's available on all your favorite streaming services. In season 1, I do an episode called Earth School. So if you feel called, you can go check that out. I'm not going to get into it here because it's kind of a lengthy podcast. But the gist of it is, Earth is a school. It's one giant school. And if you agreed to a contract with someone, and perhaps when you're playing out that contract down here in Earth School, if you didn't learn the full lesson, Spirit's not going to get mad at you. They're going to say, okay, you didn't learn that lesson, so we have like a footnote. There's a footnote to that contract saying, if you didn't learn that contract with this person, that's okay. We're going to send you another person. They're going to look completely different, sound completely different, maybe be a completely different gender. But, okay, you didn't learn it from this one. We're going to bring in someone else. Okay? And you'll play out that contract. And if you don't learn, again, Spirit's going to come in and bring you someone else. So there's footnotes to your contracts because, yes, you agree to come here and learn and do these contracts. The minute you land on Earth, though, you have free will. So you may have agreed to all of these things, but down here on Earth, your will is free to do whatever it wants. So if it chooses to learn that contract, then great. One contract done, let's move to the next one. Because you're going to have contracts for the rest of your life, okay? You're never not going to be not in school. I don't know if there's a bunch of negatives there, but you're never not going to be learning, and you're never not going to be in a contract with someone, right? If you are a happily married individual right now, then your soul chose that long-term contract. If you have children, then your soul chose to have children, and the children chose you as well as their parents to learn something from you, but you also are learning from your children. Okay, so I think you get my drift. To sum up that little portion, if you don't learn your lesson, it's okay, because the universe will keep repeating it until you do. That's why there's footnotes to your contracts. People will come in for various lessons, okay? So in school, we have math and grammar and science. In Earth School, all of our lessons are mostly taught through relationships. So there's going to be people who come in that teach you about healing, transformation, endings, which could be like a death and rebirth part of your chapter, I guess. Some of them come in to help you open up your heart space. You might have been really closed off for a long time because you got really hurt by the last contract, but then someone softly enters your life just to crack open your heart space a little bit. A lot of people are here to teach us how to get back to ourselves. It sounds so counterintuitive because, again, if you subscribe to this, before you came here to Earth, you were this pure soul made of love and light. That's why you'll hear a lot of spiritual people, wish you love and light, because that's what we are. We are light and love at our core, because we are all a part of Source. And again, whatever you believe in, whatever deity you subscribe to, you are a piece of that deity, okay? So we are all love and light before we get here. And then we get here and everything is removed. We forget everything because we chose to come down here and learn. Earth is a very dense planet, but we chose to come here and learn. So whatever your contracts are the subjects that you're taking here in Earth School. So, for example, for me, 2 of my biggest subjects were around self-love, and I'm actually understanding that one of my biggest lessons is patience and releasing control. I grew up feeling this deep desire to control everything in my environment because I needed to feel safer. And without getting too much into it, because I'm not here to shade my parents at all. Your parents are only doing the best that they can with the information that they have and the growth that they chose to do, okay? So I'm not shading my parents with this next sentence, okay? I love my parents. But I chose them for a reason. I chose to be raised by an emotionally unavailable parent and an emotionally unstable parent. I chose that because my biggest lessons have been around emotional intelligence. And I knew that as a kid. I felt like I was, and I'm not bragging, I just felt a little bit more in touch with what was happening around me. I was a really sensitive child, and I was picking up on like micro expressions and what people were saying and not saying because of the parents I chose. And I ended up parenting one of my parents. And that's where the sense of control came from. I had to keep that particular parent happy and emotionally stable because then the house remained happy and emotionally stable. So one of my biggest lessons, the universe has sent me people to crack my heart open, but to also help me heal the need to control and to get back into the flow of my life, and to understand that it's not my job to fix other people. My job is to fix the parts of me that were drawn to these people. I've had many a narcissist cross my path because I have uncovered that I am an empath. And the empath narcissist dynamic, which is a whole other video, I attract narcissists, and I attracted people who took and took and took and took from me because I was an overgiver, because I felt like my worth was attached to how much I could give and provide to you. So there have been a plethora of people, men, women, teachers, roommates, neighbors, whoever have come into my life to teach me lessons. And did I get them the first time? No. Because especially in my romantic relationships with men, it took me a very long time to get it until the universe sent me my final contract 1.5 years ago, and I got it in 6 months. I can't snap my fingers. I got it in 6 months, and that person's disappeared from my life. Completely disappeared. And I don't think I will ever cross paths with that person again. And coming back to my original point of the video is the contracts that are here to teach you about those deeper subjects, even some that I've mentioned, maybe some that I haven't mentioned, but you're going, you know, she didn't mention this, but this is one of my biggest contracts. Once the contract is fulfilled, they disappear from your life because the energetic frequency has changed. You've changed. So you are no longer aligning with that particular frequency. And so Spirit's like, congratulations, you were vibrating here with this person, but you've learned your lesson. So this person is gone. They're gone, and they will never come back again because you have fulfilled that contract and you are now vibrating at a brand new frequency. And then you graduate from that class and you move into the next one. So whatever you decided to do for your next one, more people will come in and you'll vibrate with them for a little while. And then once you learn what you're supposed to learn from them, your frequency rises and they will disappear. Okay? And then it leaves room for new people to come back in. When you clear out the contracts that you're meant to learn from, you open up energetically space for the next contract, which could be one of your better contracts. It could be your favorite contract. But if you're too full of the other contracts that you're working on, Spirit's like, we're not going to send you this good stuff until you've cleaned out these other contracts, because everything has a rhythm. The spiritual rhythm of the universe, everything is divinely timed and orchestrated. The universe has this beautiful way of just, what's that? What do those people do? Like puppeteers or whatever? Not as a sense of control, but as a sense of, whoop, we're going to pluck. Oh, congratulations, you learned that. We're plucking that out, right? Now, can people come back in? Yes. Here you are. You've just completed all of this gunk, okay? You have learned the hard shit. But this person down here is still working on this lesson, right? They're way out of they're in your rear view mirror. Like, you can't see them, they're gone. Side note, will they try to come back in? Yes, they can try. They can absolutely try, but they're down here. You don't know that they're trying to come back in, right? Are they trying? Yes, but the universe is blocking them. They're like, oh man, I really miss the energy I was getting from that person. Like, I really want to get up there. But the universe is like, no, dude, you can't vibrate with this person anymore because this person has learned so many lessons past you that we are going to create some density, and you are never going to reach that person again. So Spirit will eliminate them from your path. When I say you will never see some of these people again, you will never see some of these people again. Now, if you think that you've learned the lesson, but your ego takes over, and I'll do another video on what the ego is, because the ego in spirituality is just that negative self-talk, those limiting beliefs, the I'm a piece of shit talk that you say to yourself. If you dip back into that, your frequency might dip a little bit, but if you've really, really healed, you can bring your frequency back up, because we're humans, right? There's a lot of energy coming at us. So are you going to dip once in a while? Probably, but you won't dip way back down. Once you've learned and graduated and gotten your diploma from these contracts, you will not dip that far back down. You will dip a little, but then your frequency and the growth and healing will support you and keep you up at that frequency. So yes, if you're thinking to yourself, why have I never, ever, ever run into, I don't know, that bully from the 7th grade? Because you learned your lesson from them, and you've probably healed it through therapy or some really deep self-work, and you will never see that person again. Never see people again. And the universe eliminates them for your protection, for your growth, but they also eliminate them for distractions. And there's a really good example that I don't want to get too much into, because I don't want to vibrate at the frequency that this lesson came from. Let me have a drink. Hold on. Also, my camera cuts out at like 29 minutes. Okay, I'm at 19 minutes. Take a little drink. Where was I? Okay. Let's say Okay, this is sort of a personal experience, but I'm going to talk about it like it's a third party, okay? Let's say you're in a relationship with someone and the universe knows it's not the right relationship for you because it's a contract that you're supposed to play out. And you're in this relationship and your body is signaling to you, this doesn't feel right. Energetically, this doesn't feel right. I feel breadcrumbed or gaslit or whatever. And you're like hitting resistance. It's a struggle. It just doesn't feel right. Okay? But you're in it because you're meant to be in it because there's a lesson, right? But meanwhile, you're still trying to live your life and you are working and you're trying to socialize and you're trying to, have some hobbies. Sorry if I was squinting during that. I just realized that light might be a little bit bright. I apologize if I was squinting. I'm not squinting. I'm totally happy to be here. Oh man, then I lose my train of thought. Where was I? Right. You're not in the right relationship. The frequency's not quite right, but you're there. So there's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of friction, but you're out here trying to do your thing, right? So for me, this particular example, I was out here trying to build a business and I was in a relationship that was not energetically aligned for me at all. And the minute I met this person, business slowed down. I didn't see it until I was out of it. But business slowed down. Clients dried up. Funds dried up. And I was like, this is weird. What's happening? What's happening is, and again, this is no knock on this person, okay? Because he's on his own journey and I came into his life to teach him lessons, but this is no knock on him, okay? I'm not that kind of person. But the abundance that's meant for me wasn't meant for him. So when the universe saw us together, they blocked the abundance because energetically, the frequency of that abundance wasn't meant for him. So the universe held off my abundance until I finished this contract. And then, I kid you not, the minute I learned and let this person go, my abundance started to flow back in. Money started coming back to me. Clients started coming back to me. And it took me 6, 7, 8 months of work to see that. Now I'm telling you this right now, but this wasn't an instantaneous. I didn't make that connection instantly until I went inside and figured out, whoa, that's what that was. Energetically, the frequency of that abundance was just not meant for that particular partner. It was meant solely for me. And now that abundance and the frequency of that abundance is happily with me, now I feel better about myself. I have learned the valuable lessons around self-love and to stop overgiving and to open myself up to receive as I am. I don't have to overgive to feel love anymore. I absolutely love myself. The exact person sitting here right now, I love her a lot. And now I know that the abundance that's meant for me energetically aligns with the new person that's destined to come in next. And intuitively, I know he's been through the same lesson. I think he's done very similar growth and he has his own abundance and a newfound self-love. And so do I. So when we come together, that contract will look and feel a lot different. And then energetically we'll be vibrating, and his spirit team and my spirit team and the universe and source is going to bless the two of us with abundance. And then his soul contracts that he's finished will be long in the distance, and so will mine. Okay? This can happen in the form of work relationships too. Like, this doesn't always have to be romantic. This can be in friendships. This can be in colleagues. This can be in bosses. All of these contracts that you chose to play out will play out. But then let me tell you, when they're done, they're done. They're gone. Okay? So that's the gist of the video. I took some notes while I was chatting. While I was channeling before I got here. I just want to make sure that I got it all. Yeah. The universe eliminates these people from your life permanently for your protection. They eliminate distractions as well. So sometimes if you're on a path and you're going along this path and you're doing really well, and then you meet someone who's an unnecessary distraction, maybe your contract with them is really short, and then you learn it and the universe is like, cool, we're glad you learned that, because this person would have steered you off course, or this job would have steered you off course, or this place that you're living would have steered you off course. So they eliminate those distractions because they're like, your soul knows the way, we know the way, and this whole earth school is teaching you to get back to the way, right? Yeah, so that the universe can energetically open you up to that new chapter and that next lesson that you're meant to learn. I think I will do another video on the different stages of your spiritual journey, because for me, a lot of these lessons came in the hermit phase. And I really want to talk about the hermit phase because it's the hardest. It's the loneliest. You lose everything that's familiar to you in the hermit phase. You lose all your friends. You kind of lose your family. You lose jobs. You lose housing. You just lose. And I've lost everything because none of it was energetically aligned, and they were all massive lessons, so that now that I'm spiritually awake, I can rebuild from a more honest foundation as I head forward into my next chapter. And let me tell you, for those of you that are new here, I'm 48, and your spiritual journey may have started at 28 or 18 or 68. Time doesn't matter. It's not real. All we have is the here and now. All you have is right now. So it doesn't matter if you took years to learn your lesson. That was your choice when you came here. So go easy on yourself, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself like, oh God, I should have seen this coming, or shit, why did I let this happen again? Just go easy on yourself. You were meant to learn what you were meant to learn when you were meant to learn it. Okay? So that's the video today. It's just a video to tell you that if people have disappeared, leave them there. They will energetically never cross your path again once you've done what you're meant to do, and once you learn what you're meant to learn from them. Okay? So thank you for having this Jenspiration conversation with me. It's always a pleasure to share this space with you. If you feel like commenting below on some of your experiences, this is a collective of really supportive people. So I wish you well, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Bye, friends.